Welcome to the Orange County Sportsplex. Chris Lehman alongside Graham Tuck as we get set for the second game of the Elite Junior Profiles Showcase here in Hillsborough. It was a big win for East Texas Baptist over Elon University in the first game. And here in this one, we've got the North Carolina Tar Heels and the Denison Big Red. And, you know, from talking to these two coaches, this is really kind of two similar situations for these two teams. Neither of them were able to play last year. As a matter of fact, Denison at one point was only allowed to practice in groups of 6 and actually had to rotate players through practice in order to be able to actually practice. They've got about 13 guys on this team who will be playing their first college game here this season. And on the other side, the Tar Heels also with some new faces, everybody kind of working with that, having most teams at least having not played last year.
Yeah, and that's something that's going to be interesting. We talked about it in the game prior between Elon and East Texas Baptist. You expect a sluggish start, especially for a team like Carolina that hasn't played in an entire year. So you got to make sure that you're the one that makes the adjustment first.
And there's the puck drop, won by the Big Red, and they'll possess back at the defense. It's Oliver Ganu, and Ganu will punch it up the far wall. At the defense, Carolina takes over. Daniel Jones looks cross ice. It'll be interesting to see how these two teams get into a rhythm early. You mentioned it's been a long time since Carolina has played. It's been 600 days since the last official game for Denison. They'll work behind the net. Good forecheck here from the Tar Heels. Up the near wall, it'll be collected by Seitz. Looking through the middle, has a man with speed. That was Holman. Got to stick to it, but couldn't control. Chapel Hill back in control. The Tar Heels through the neutral zone will gain the red line, dump it deep. Denison to it first. That's Salerno. Up the far wall, he's got Holman again, held in at the blue line. Kramer in there pressuring for UNC. And now to be cleared all the way down to Will Douthit. Douthit going to be the anchor of this Tar Heel team this year. Looked really, really good a couple years ago as a sophomore, now a senior. But with a lot of hockey teams, of course, it starts back there between the pipes, and that's certainly the case for UNC.
Yeah, and UNC's a lucky team in that they have 2 senior netminders at their disposal.
They look to go on the attack as they dump it deep, wrapped around the boards by the Denison defense. First one to it, Leighton Walsh. Walsh, one of the newcomers that Coach Volkman is looking at to be a contributor on this team pretty quickly. And now UNC through the neutral zone into the offensive end. Walsh again. Lugs it behind the net, looking out in front. Nice tie up there in front of the net. That was Demantova who lifted the stick. Tar Heels getting some extended pressure here. Now Anderson clears for Denison. Up that far wall goes Michael Goldman. He's dispossessed. If the Tar Heels can move quickly, might have an odd man rush. Top of the slot, slap shot stopped by Svedson. And it's knocked into the near corner. Along the wall, Goldman again. He'll lift it up and out. Tar Heels possess neutral ice. Bad touch, and into the zone go the Tar Heels, but they get hung up, and they're offsides. Some good action there early, Graham. A lot of speed for these two teams.
And it's funny. I talked right before puck drop that you expect a sluggish start. That's really not what we've seen. Not a whole lot of offensive work so far. Only 1 shot on goal between the two, but that's something you think they'll work around.
And the Tar Heels back on the attack, dumped in deep. First one to it, Mangle. He has it knocked off his stick, goes back after it. Loose puck picked up along that far wall by Kevin Greer. Greer tied up around the red line, knocked backwards, Janot. Janot will move in. Tries to step around the defenseman, can't do it. Cleared out to the red line and sent right back in by Salerno. Got the top D pairing out there for Denison right now. Tar Heels will possess behind their own cage. Up the wall, Salerno throws it just wide. Off the back wall, and out come the Tar Heels now. Carlson lifts it deep, giving chase a button. Carlson centered in front, the one-time shot. Deflected up and wide. Good chance there for UNC. They'll keep the attack on. Through the slot, loose stick, and it looks like we're going to have our first penalty of the game against Denison. as we have a hand up. Puck all the way down to Douthit. Feeling some pressure. Throws it over for Jones. Back around for Carlson on the near wall. He'll look cross ice off a stick, and now Denison going to get a touch up. That was Oliver Genoux, and we'll have our first penalty. And it's actually going to go against the aforementioned Oliver Genoux. And I believe this is going to go down as a slash. It will be a 2-minute penalty. And the first power play coming up for the Tar Heels here. Well, they've certainly carried play so far. And now they get a chance to do it with the man advantage. Spoten to take the face-off back to the blue line. He'll get it back. Playing catch with Foster. Over to the far side. Here's the shot. It whistles just wide off the stick of Simon Malone. Close but not quite so far for the Tar Heels. And they'll bring it back in again. Malone drops it off for Spoten. He'll chip one off the crossbar, and it deflects up into the netting behind the cage, and we'll have a face-off here to the right of John Svensson. Well, talked about these two teams in similar situations, both of them looking to their more veteran goaltenders. Svensson will only play in this game this weekend, as the Big Red did bring 3 tendies with them, and each will get 1 game. But he's looked strong early. Big hit right off the face-off, knocks the puck loose, but UNC will control. Kramer, top of the near circle, wrist shot, hit a body in front, deflects to the far side. Quick pinch there, and it's held in by Jack Gleason. Sent right back up the wall, taking a hit there was Lempia, couldn't get it out. And UNC dumps it back behind the net. Near corner, chip and chase for Kramer. Now Friedman going after it in that far corner. Knocks it loose, it'll be collected by Beeson. He'll send it around to Daniel Jones. Mishandles at the blue line, and Denison going to be able to clear it out. Just under a minute left on the power play for the Tar Heels. And a scoreless contest so far. Kramer with speed up that right wing. He'll go after it as he dumps it deep. Swiped around the wall, and it'll hop the stick of Jones at the blue line and head all the way down for Douthit. Well, it's a good start to the power play for UNC, but they've stalled out a little bit here, having trouble reestablishing themselves in the offensive end. Yeah,
but as you look to break out here, you got something brewing, but you've got to make sure that your passes are connecting. That's one thing that they've struggled with. Great defensive play, good stick play from Denison.
Sent around the wall by David Mahan. Back up to the blue line, stepping into Spoten. His shot hits traffic in front, deflects to the far side. Left for Mahan again. Across. Friedman thinks about it, or pardon me, Foster thinks about it, then his wrist shot is blocked. Taken back by Spoten. He gets to the high slot. Wrist shot, hits a body, deflects to the corner. Good pressure here again. Walsh now in control. Has it knocked loose, cleared out, but held in at the blue line. Slap shot saved by Svensson. First chance there for Carter Tanner of the game. And we're back to 5-on-5 hockey as the Big Red kill off the man advantage. Now they have a chance to go on the attack. Podesta sends it deep. First one to it for Denison is Holman. He'll sweep it behind the net and then go get it. Got a man open at the point. Here's a one-timer. They score. Logan Anderson. And Denison breaks the ice.
Well, for the Big Red, that's a pretty good ratio. 1 shot, 1 goal. Not the way you wanted to start the outing if you're Douthit. Not the way you wanted to start the season if you're Carolina. You're down 1-0. You just have a very uneventful power play that sees you only get 1 shot on goal. And then right away, automatically you're down 1-0 in a similar situation to Elon. Although Elon started getting behind later in the contest. But now you have more time to work back and work yourself back into the game. You find yourself in a deficit. You know you're down. Now you have that entire rest of the game to get into that mental state where you can start working back towards evening things up and taking the lead.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're the Tar Heels, as they win the faceoff and send it deep, you just want to keep doing what you're doing, and eventually one's going to find the back of the net. Puck to the middle, deflected away by the goal scorer Anderson, and it'll be collected and cleared out by Goldman. D-to-D pass as the Tar Heels look to get back on the forecheck. Sent all the way around the boards. And after it is Mangle back behind the cage. It'll be carried by Vaglia. Michael Vaglia back to the point. Here comes a wrist shot. Hit a couple bodies and deflected behind the net. Vaglia on the forecheck again. Getting some help there from Mangle, but they can't control. Denison going D to D. Here's Anderson. Rubbed off the puck by Mangle, cleared out. Carolina sends it right back in again. But the Tar Heels with continued pressure, they'll get a full line change for their forwards and their defensemen. And they'll go back to work. Stretch pass trying to catch Denison on a change. Here comes Carlson, and he's knocked off the puck. And the Tar Heels will start over. Jack Gleason looking to send it in. Trickles down for Tim Greer. He'll knock it off the glass and out. And now DeMantova works it behind the cage for the Big Red. Wraps it around, nobody there. It's Simon Malone now for Carolina. Behind the net, along the boards for Carlson. He can't hold on to that pass. Slap shot ends up wide from Greer. And they can't hold the zone. Tar Heels, they move quickly, could have a chance, and the wrist shot whistles high and wide for Carlson. Just not hitting the net enough right now for the Tar Heels.
Nah, not at all, but at the same time, you're the only team with more than one shot on goal. So you've got to try to do something. You know that you're doing the right things if you're Carolina to some extent. You're getting the puck into the zone. It's not like the game that we just watched between East Texas Baptist and Elon, where the Phoenix just couldn't get the puck in the zone to save their lives. If their lives counted on it, they couldn't do it. At the end of the game, the shot counter was nearly double in favor of East Texas Baptist. Carolina not suffering the same ailment right now, but you've just got to keep hoping that you can keep getting pucks towards the net. Denison is doing a great job of blocking shots before they get to their netminder, and if they can keep doing that, it's going to be a really frustrating evening for North Carolina.
Yeah, I think you're getting at something there, too, with the net front presence. I think Denison has done a good job of keeping Carolina out of that low slot area. They haven't had a lot of really good chances. They've had a couple of nice shots that have tested Svensson a little bit, but nothing that's really point blank and tough to stop for them. And they're going to have to find a way to get into that area. There's a pass there from Kramer, tipped out in front, and the one-timer goes wide from John Beeson. Along the near wall for Denison, now it's Trevor Seitz who will clear it out. Pressure put on by Hallman over at the Carolina D. Knocks the puck loose, picked up and neutralized by Kramer. He'll chip and chase to the far side, knocking a man off the puck. That was Drew Morgan. But Kramer unable to control. Denison takes back over in their own corner along the far side. Kramer and Friedman battling for the Tar Heels. Can't win that battle, though. Clearance knocked down by Beeson. Backhand pass bounces wide of the net as Svensson watches it into the near corner. Denison looking to break out again. They're able to clear the zone but can't possess. Carolina's going to get a change as they send it deep. About halfway through this first period, Denison just one shot, but it's all they needed to get one past Douthit. And they lead 1-0, even though they really haven't had too much zone time. Justin Rink sends it in for the Big Red. Chipped right back out by the Tar Heels. Cross-ice pass hits a stick, and it'll be chipped in deep. Going after it, David Mahan. Chasing it into the far corner now. First one to it, though, is Salerno. He has it knocked off his stick, and Denison trying to regain control. This has been a great forecheck from the Tar Heels when they get set up in the offensive end. Walsh into the corner. That's Henry, dropped to the point, wrist shot through traffic. Great save by Svensson. Had a man right in front of him camped out, and he's able to find it and hold on to the rebound. That is probably the best chance we've seen so far, Graham.
Oh, 100% for either side, I'd venture to say. Obviously, Denison capitalizing on a chance the other way, but it wasn't really one that struck out to you as, a bona fide goal-scoring chance. It just happened to get past Douthit on the far side. But you touched on it. The forecheck from Carolina has been what's helped them dominate the time of possession and the zone time the way that they have.
Well, one place they haven't necessarily had an advantage here in the first 10 minutes and change is in the face-off circle. Haven't had too many. It's been a pretty good flow to this game. Carolina wins that face-off. Wrist shot goes wide. Pretty active boards back there. It bounced out along the near post, but nobody was there to tap it home. Big hit in the neutral ice. This is going to draw a penalty. Foster is down. And he seems to be in some serious pain holding his right shoulder. A big open ice hit there that Foster didn't see coming. And initially, I thought I saw him holding his shoulder, but it definitely looked like he got clipped on the leg, and he's going to get some help from some teammates as he heads back to the Carolina bench, and hopefully he's okay. That's one player that I talked to Coach Volkman about before the game that he think could be an immediate impact player on this team, and that's Henry Foster. The good news is he's going to the bench. He's not going to the locker room.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm quite surprised that that's the case. It looked really rough for Foster at first glance, but he had to be helped to the bench, but he made it there.
So it'll be another 2-minute man advantage for UNC here. It'll be Sabatin to take the offensive zone draw. It's tied up, and the Tar Heels win the battle. Drop back to the point. Again along the half wall for Sabatin. Back to the point again. They'll work the top of the umbrella into the slot. Here's a chance. Backhander stopped by Svensson, and he'll swallow up the rebound. Svensson looking good here early.
Yep, standing tall and standing up to the task that UNC has faced him with so far.
Draw on the blocker side of the Denison goaltender this time. Big Red win it, but can't clear. D-to-D pass, little off the mark, and it's out of the zone. Jack Gleason going to have to retreat. He'll work from his own blue line. Up the near wall for Sabatin. He'll work his way diagonally across. Wraps it behind the net. Looking for an option, goes back to the point for Gleason. Little 1-2. Over to the far side. That shot tipped up and wide off the stick of Malone. And now Denison able to clear it out. Tar Heels will regain control in neutral ice. Gleason looking back to the near side, and here comes Sabatin. Friedman will clear it in. Battle behind the net. Beeson kicks it loose. Back to the point. Shot on the rebound, tip just wide. Loose in front. Svensson was out of position, and the net comes off moorings. A couple of really good opportunities. We talked, Graham, about Carolina getting into that low slot. They're getting the puck there now.
Yeah, they definitely are, and the shot blocking just isn't there like it was in the first part of this period for Denison. But the thing is that they are still having some great stick play defensively, like I touched on a couple of minutes ago, and it's really helping them out. They've still blocked a couple of shots, but it's been more luck than positioning.
Well, good news, Foster on the ice. Oh, what a save there from Svensson. He got it with the glove on the rebound. As now Jones takes the shot, Svensson with the glove save, and took a little bit of contact there, and I think the Denison defense was a little bit offended by that, but a couple of great saves there from John Svensson.
10 shots on goal now for Carolina compared to just the one for Denison. And still a goose egg on the scoreboard for Carolina, but at this point you've got to attribute that to the play of Svensson in between the posts, excuse me.
And good news, I was getting to it before that chance. Henry Foster back out on the ice with this power play unit, so he's doing just fine. That's certainly good news for Tar Heel fans. Denison able to control off the draw and clear it out. The aforementioned Foster will control and set up the breakout from behind the Carolina cage. Up to Kramer. Rink wide, and now it'll be brought in by Noah Friedman. Across. Shot and a sliding save made by Svensson as the power play comes to an end. Good chance there for Beeson. But that one just, you got to have a one-timer there, I think, with the push-off that you see from Svensson getting post to post. His movement, the way he's playing the angles, he looks great.
Yeah, he really does. And you're not going to beat him all alone. You're going to have to play with some directional changes in front of the net. Get somebody down there and look for a dirty goal, a deflection, or have a one-timer like you mentioned.
Just over 7 minutes to go in this first period. Denison with the 1-0 lead. And in control of the puck, Nick Salerno. Up the wall, that pass disrupted. Carolina will clear it back to the Denison blue line. Collected there by Joey Holman, one of the captains for this Big Red squad. He'll go on the forecheck. Carolina able to break out, though. Along to the near side, they'll bring it in with speed. Ian Reeves sends it to the middle, loose puck, and they can't put it on goal. And it looks like Mangle tripped up a little bit there. He wanted a call, won't get it, and Denison breaks it out, but only to the red line. One-timer back in, it'll be picked up by Mangle, cuts to the middle, loses his footing, tried to sweep the puck back to the middle, but couldn't corral it. Still pressure from the Tar Heels. Loose puck on the near side, picked up by Carlson, backhanded in on Svensson, and that's an easy one to handle for the goalkeeper. Certainly, if you're head coach Jeff Volkman of this UNC team, you're not getting the goals yet, but you got to like the way that the team's playing right now.
Oh, 100%. You're dominating time of possession and time in the offensive zone. The power play looked good, just couldn't get a goal on the board. You just got to keep doing what you're doing at this point. The defense has not even had a chance to do their job because of the fact that they're just forechecking so well. They're able to keep pucks in the zone when they have it there. And just an all-around great performance from Carolina so far. They're dominating the game, but behind on the scoreboard.
On their back on the forecheck, Carlson keeps it in for Sabotin. He'll lug it behind the net. Looks back to the point. Finds a teammate. Slap shot goes wide off the stick of Carter Tanner. Collected by Denison. They'll look to break out again. Going to have to retreat, though. Nick Podesta wraps it around the wall. Can be collected there by Duncan Humphreys, who will lift it up and out. Denison trying to beat out. Oh, looks like they waved off the icing call, so Denison able to negate it. They'll try to go on the forecheck. Haven't had many opportunities and not going to have one there. A lot of speed. Here comes Friedman. Bursting in. Backhand shot stopped by Svensson. Played the angle well. Now Beeson sends it deep for the Tar Heels. Picked up by Anderson. Lifts it all the way up to the red line. That's where Michael Goldman will carry it in. Sends it back behind the net. Justin Rink, the first there for the Big Red. He's quickly dispossessed. Now Daniel Jones shovels it behind his own net. A little miscommunication for the Tar Heel defense, turned over behind their net. And Denison will go to work in the offensive end. We haven't really seen them establish themselves in the offensive zone, and they're not really going to get a chance here again. Friedman up the right wing, looking to the middle, and he can't connect with Kramer. It'll be taken back and turned around by Michael Goldman of Denison. Down the right wing, shot, rebound, they score. Bad rebound for Douthit, and Denison takes the 2-goal lead.
And that is not, again, that's not what you wanted. A good opportunity in transition. As you said, a juicy rebound from Douthit given up, and on only 3 shots, Denison now has 2 goals compared to none for Carolina on their 14 shots.
And one thing I talked about with Coach, because this Denison team made the 8-hour trip down here to North Carolina today, and we talked about, bus legs are a thing. That's certainly something you have to get the cobwebs out at the beginning of a game, and you can see it a little bit for the Big Red. They aren't able to keep up step for step with UNC, but their goaltender doing an excellent job, and if you're Carolina, eventually you got to think that Denison's going to get their footing and start to go on the attack.
Yeah, and if they do, it's going to be a scary sight. Already playing with a lead.
Exactly. But still struggling to break it out. Good Tar Heel forecheck. Mahan sends it around behind the net. Awkward deflection right back to him. But they can't connect into the middle. And neutral ice. It'll be slapped down the wall by Ian Reeves, but not into the Denison end, and the Big Red will turn it around. Holman sends it around the boards. Held in on the near point, but only for a moment. And now the Tar Heels can bring it up. Leighton Walsh crossing through the middle of the offensive zone. Leaves it high slot. Walking in, and they can't get a shot away. That was David Mahan. Just couldn't quite get a good grip on the puck. Back on the attack, though, Foster. Loses it behind the cage. It'll be picked up there by Trevor Seitz. And he only holds onto it into the corner. Loose puck back behind the Denison net once again. Foster lurking, looks out to the point. It's deflected up and out of the zone. And the Tar Heels will retreat. Big Red go off for a change. Looking to skate it straight up through the middle there was Michael Vaglia. Had it knocked off his stick. Carolina will restart behind their own net. Up the near wall, bouncing puck can't be controlled. And a nice hit laid in the middle of the ice there by Drew Morgan. Denison sends it deep. Douthit has to come out of his net to play it. There's a collision in front, and the net will come off the moorings. Now you're starting to see Denison push back against this Carolina forecheck a little bit more.
Yeah, just a little bit, and their neutral zone pressure has been better as well. But at the same time, like you said, they've really only set up in their offensive end once, and it just hasn't paid off. Both of their goals scored in transition. They've been quick goals. They haven't had much time to recoup, have the Tar Heel defense, and that's just something that you're going to have. That's what you want from a defensive standpoint. You want to be allowing transition opportunities as compared to setting up, because you don't have set plays when you're setting up like that. And so it's a lesser chance. You're really putting it to skill rather than the coaching staff. And that's what you'd like from the Tar Heels perspective. But, obviously it's not showing up on the scoreboard. And like we've said countless times, you just got to keep doing what you're doing and hope that it pays off, because the Tar Heels are doing all the right things right now.
Pretty good forecheck here from Denison right now. They're going to get it deep. A little bit of a hit there from Jack Gleason along the wall. And now the Tar Heels will break it out. Carlson bangs it off the half wall. Can't get it out, though. UNC resets. To the near side, Reeves moves it up. Carlson chips it to the middle. Here's a chance. It's off the pipe. One of the best chances yet for the Tar Heels, and they couldn't get it to go. Still putting the pressure on. In the near corner. It'll be picked up by Goldman. Skates it behind the net, flips it up and out, but a nice job getting a glove to it. And sending it back deep, that was Malone. Tar Heels still with a great forecheck. Sent around the boards. Collected behind the cage by Martin Lampia. Leaves it for Goldman, who chips it up the middle. Bouncing puck corralled by Zach Dooley. He'll turn on the Jets. Takes a shot, shrugged off by Douthit. And out of play, we'll have a face-off in the Carolina zone. This, by my count, unofficially, I think is only the second offensive zone face-off of the period.
I think you're right. Yep. I would agree with that statement, and it's one of the few face-offs that we've had in general outside of the Carolina attacking it.
It's been a nice fluid first period. Tar Heels will win the draw. Around the boards for Kramer in the far corner. He'll go rink wide. It's taken off the boards by Beeson. He'll pick up some speed. Looks to the middle, and it's chipped just wide. Another good chance there. That was Wills Kendrick Holmes who got a stick to it. Beeson back up to the point for Ian Reeves. Reeves' shot is blocked. Denison gets it up and out. Just about 45 seconds left in the period. Puck tipped back in. Friedman looking to the middle, and a great stick play by Martin Lampia to disrupt that centering pass. Tar Heels looking for one here late in the period. Kramer back around in front, and Friedman's shot denied by Svensson. And it looks like the net whistle blow. I didn't see an arm up for a penalty.
I didn't.
It looks like there was some sort of issue with Svensson. I don't know if it was an equipment or looks like the net may have popped off its moorings just enough to warrant a whistle.
That's exactly what happened. And Carolina, you're approaching 20 shots in the period at this point. And when you contrast that with the 3 for Denison, it's a broken record at this point, but this is just not how you'd expect the period to have gone if you look purely at the numbers. And Carolina's got to take that into the locker room, adjust, reflect upon it, and come out better for the second.
There was a quick chance in front for UNC, and the net came off its moorings again.
And that's something that's been a recurring issue so far today. Even in the first game, the net was coming off of the post quite a bit.
I think the Tar Heels a little bit upset about it too, because it was Svensson going hard into the post right here next to us that did that. And I think the Tar Heels, think play should have continued there. They'll go at it again here in the glove side circle of Svensson. Denison wins it backwards. It'll be rung around the wall by Anderson, but not out. Down to 13 seconds to go in the period. Walking in, shot, they score! A big one from Mahan with 9 seconds to go in the period, and the Tar Heels are on the board.
Oh, you finally break through. That's what you need heading into the locker room. More than just sustained pressure. You finally get a goal on the board. It's not enough to tie it up, but it is momentum in the best way. Carolina knows that they are the better team at this point heading into the locker room. That's something that you can talk about, but it's not on the board. It doesn't do as much as a goal does. So a 2-1 deficit going into the locker room is much different from 2-0.
And sometimes you don't know what will happen with Svensson here. As I mentioned earlier, it's been 600 days since this Denison team has played a competitive game. Good chance there. Douthit had to make a save, and the period will come to a close. But if you're the Tar Heels, you got to like where you are going into the locker room. You want to clean it up maybe a little bit in the defensive end and avoid some of those opportunities in transition. But they finally get on the board, and you wonder if maybe they can open the floodgates up in that second period.
Well, we saw the floodgates open up in the second period one game ago. It was a massive goal-scoring period between East Texas Baptist and Elon. And see if it goes the same way. See if changing ends has anything to do with the prowess of the Denison Big Red and the scoring of Carolina, hopefully for them, because, you put up 19 shots in a period and you only come away with 1 goal. You just got to keep chipping away at the goaltender.
A couple of earlier tallies for Denison put them up 2-0, but with 9 seconds left in the period, it was Mahan finally getting one past John Svensson of the Denison Big Red to cut that lead in half, 2-1 after 20 minutes.
Hey everybody, it's Graham Tuck, the voice of Panther Hockey, here with Jeff Butke, the co-founder of GMU Sport, one of the big sponsors for this weekend showcase. And Jeff, tell us a little bit about what GMU Sport is all about.
Sure. So GMU Sport, we're a lifestyle company. We're creating our brands around activities, anywhere from sports to hiking, anything that you're out there being active. Just because you're not a professional athlete or you're not in the gym doesn't mean you don't need some sort of supplement to help you get through what you're doing.
Right.
So really just pushing a lifestyle brand.
So a lifestyle brand, but what sets you apart from other lifestyle brand companies that are in that same business?
Sure. So a few things that we've done. So our management team, we have over 35 years of experience in the industry. And one of the things that we really focus on is quality. We follow the FDA standards throughout our entire production procedure. So what we had done is we'd hired a retired FDA inspector and had him write up all of our procedures for our manufacturing. So product comes in, we test it, make sure it's good quality product. We mix it up, our pre-workout, our protein, our BCAAs, whatever product it is, we test that afterwards again to make sure it's a high quality product. Another thing that we're doing is our products for high-level athletes, we're sending this out to non-doping agencies to be tested. So your college student or your college athlete or your wannabe college athlete or your professional athlete knows that the product they're getting is not going to make them fail a test, right? Their coaches, their trainers, the colleges all know that it's a good quality product. It's not going to cause any issues for the athlete.
That's awesome. So what should the viewers do if they want to find out more about what you're doing at GMU Sport, or if they want to go ahead and buy some of your products?
Sure. Go ahead and follow us at GMU Sport or on our Facebook, GMU Sport. Also, you can buy the products at gmusport.com. Check us out. We have over 40 products online ready to go.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back for second period action here at the Orange County Sportsplex. Chris Lehman and Graham Tuck with you as we get set for period number 2. It's a 2-1 lead for Denison, but Graham, play was carried pretty much the whole period by Carolina.
Oh, exactly. And Carolina was just fortunate to get on the board at the end of the period. 9 seconds left on the clock and a goal from David Mahon to get Carolina back within one, the proximate goal, so to speak. But they dominated the shots on goal counter, 19-4 in favor of the Tar Heels. And if you're Denison, you've got to get some sustained offensive pressure if you're going to turn things around here.
Well, and you just got a close-up look there at John Svensson, the netminder for Denison, and he's a big reason why it's a 2-1 hockey game right now. We'll see if the trend continues here in the second period, or if Denison's able to get their legs under them a little bit more and take a bigger advantage. Carolina right on the attack out the gate. They have trouble breaking in. They'll have to retreat. Along the near wall, taken by Simon Malone. Up the middle for Sabotin. Looking at Carlson, who has trouble handling the pass. Denison takes back over, and up the far wall they go. Nice little stick check from Daniel Jones there. Knocks the puck loose. Carolina will control. Jones. Off the boards for Gleason. Gleason tries to pin it on the wall and can't. Denison will go back on the attack. Nice step up there from Malone, and he'll carry it up the right wing. Sidesteps a check and chases the puck down behind the net. Looking to move out in front. Nice little poke check from Svensson. Drop back to the point. The shot there from Gleason doesn't get through. And deflects into the right-hand corner. Wrapped around the boards, and Denison will move it up and out. Down that far right wing, dumped in behind the Carolina cage. Nice hit laid behind the net as well, but the puck's loose on the far side. Picked up, nice pass, Friedman in all alone on Svensson. Takes the slapper, and Svensson's there to make the save. Well, there wasn't much of an angle for Friedman. It was a nice job by Denison to get back and cut off any kind of angle Friedman would have had on a breakaway, but still a good chance for the Tar Heels. They continue on the attack. And now we've got a whistle. I didn't see the puck deflect up into the netting.
Yeah, I think the net came off.
And again, it's tough to see from that far end, but the net has come off its moorings again. That's the third time Svensson's done that.
Exactly, and that shows that it is Svensson that is the problem. He's the common denominator between when it happened in the first period and the second, because the ends have changed. It's a different net.
Carolina right on the attack off the draw. Shoveled in behind the net. Work back up the near wall for Carter Tanner. Tanner can't hold the zone. Denison going to clear it all the way down, and this should be icing. Well, you got to like the way this Tar Heel team has come out in the second period, and you thought they would, considering the fact they scored with just 9 seconds left in the first. They've carried that momentum right here into the second. Just need to add another goal onto that goal column.
Oh, yeah, 5 shots for every one, Carolina compared to Denison. That's a good sign. Anytime you can maintain a ratio like that, or even a little bit smaller.
Big Red will bring it in. That shot deflected up and over. Oliver Janou bringing it up from the defense there for the Big Red. We should have an offensive zone face-off here on the right side of Will Douthit. $17:52 to go here in period number 2. Denison with the offensive zone draw. It'll be Noah DeFilippo to take it. Wins it to the near wall, backhanded back into the corner by Joey Holman. And Denison trying to set up on the forecheck. Centering pass disrupted and stolen. And here comes Leighton Walsh. Gains the red line, dumps it deep. He'll go chase after it. Into the near corner. Loose puck collected there by David Mahan. Looking out in front. That pass intercepted, but poked loose. And now we've got a whistle. Looks like there's a hand pass on Carolina.
And you talked about Douthit just a second ago. He's really going to be one of the keys for Carolina if they want to get back into this one, because let's be honest, he hasn't been tested very often, but he hasn't looked great when he has been. You know, he gave up that big rebound on the second goal. He got beat on the first shot of the game. Obviously never how you want to start things off.
And it can be tough for a goaltender when you don't see a lot of action and you finally get a flurry.
Exactly.
Getting into that rhythm. And I will say, I think that first goal, a little bit more challenging than it looked with the pass from from Hallman coming from behind the net. You have to change perspectives quickly and get the one-timer. He just couldn't. But he certainly would like to get some saves under his belt here in this second period. Denison unable to hold the zone. That little spin-around pass from Demantova ends up in neutral ice. Carolina looking to put some pressure on that Big Red defense. They'll move it up the middle. Here comes Logan Anderson, but he's in offsides and bring it back out for a face-off. It definitely feels like Denison is starting to get a little bit more traction than they had in the first, but the play still, at the moment, I would say the ice is still tipped.
Yeah, I would
side.
definitely agree with that statement. And for Denison, they went a long time without offensive pressure to start the first period. It hasn't been the case to start the second, and that's a good adjustment from Big Red because you got to make sure that you can extend the lead once you got it.
And they'll move it right back out. Nifty little move, and they're going to bring it in on a breakaway. It's a 2-on-0, and they can't get the shot away. It was a great back check from Mackay Ashford there. And he may have saved a goal. Carolina looking to go back the other way with it. Zach Mengel loses control, and now we're going to have a penalty on the Tar Heels. Daniel Jones put a cross-check into the back of a Big Red defenseman. And we'll see Denison with their first man advantage of the hockey game. While we have a quick moment, Tar Heels do want to let you know if you're ready to make a move, give Van Kula Real Estate Group a call today. Selling Triangle Real Estate for over 20 years. You can call 919-697-5100. Go Heels. So they'll work with a man down right now. Carlson wins the defensive zone draw, and Gleason will swing it right out of the zone. Good start to the kill for Carolina.
Special teams was a big factor in the first game of the day. Elon just unable to do anything on a lot of power play minutes that they had. Over 15 minutes of penalty that they had to kill off did the Tigers of East Texas Baptist. And, in fact, they went negative on the power play, allowing a shorthanded goal and not scoring on the power play. So Carolina needs to make sure that if they, both teams really, Denison and Carolina, if they want to have a foothold in this game that you wouldn't have otherwise, as it kind of hangs in the balance right now, special teams is a perfect way to get that advantage.
1:40 left on the power play for Denison. They were offsides. Faceoff comes out on top of the Carolina blue line. Big Red control off the draw. Anderson will shovel it deep. First one to it for the Tar Heels is John Beeson. Slaps it up the wall, but not out. Walking it back in, Nick Podesta. Centered out in front, and it's just over the stick of Jake Demantova. Denison still on the attack here on the power play. Shot off a skate and cleared all the way down by Kendrick Holmes. Big Red going to reset. They'll bring it in quickly. Podesta has it knocked off his stick. Demantova back out looking for Podesta, and the net comes off its moorings. And the faceoff looks like it'll stay here in the Carolina end. But a dangerous opportunity there that'll go by the wayside for the Big Red power play. Still 58 seconds to go on the man advantage. Denison able to set up briefly there on the last play. And now they'll go to work. Blocker save there from Dalfit on a weak wrister from the point. Back behind the net. First one to it for the Tar Heels is Carter Tanner. Can't clear. Finished off by Patrick Kramer, and Kramer's going to bring it in. And his shot goes wide. Not a bad shorthanded chance there for Kramer. Denison will bring it back in with speed. It's number 7, Nick Solano. Powers behind the net. But no one out in front. He's going to lose possession. Kramer clears it out. It's in the skates of a defenseman, and here goes Henry Foster. In on the break. Fakes, and a beautiful pad save from Svensson. That's about the third big save Svensson's made to keep Denison ahead. They're going to power right back in, and the net comes off its moorings again, but puck will get cleared out. We're going to continue play. Another clearance for the Tar Heels will finish off the power play for Denison, and we're back to even strength hockey. Stretch pass through the neutral zone. Gets knocked loose. Big Red pick it up. Wrist shot. And standing tall, Douthit makes the save on that shot from the top of the near circle. Well, a few flurry chances for Denison on that power play. Couldn't find the back of the net, though. And I think that's what you want to see if you're Douthit. Seeing a few more shots, able to get comfortable between the pipes. And now we'll work even strength. Trickles in off the faceoff. Douthit steers it to the far corner. It'll be scooped up there by Zach Mangle. He goes rink wide, can't connect though. And it'll skitter all the way down. He was looking for Ashford on that one. But the faceoff going to come all the way back to the Carolina zone.
Yeah, and you touched on it. For Douthit, experience is the best thing that you can have at this point. It's just like any job. The goaltender's no different. You've got to see shots to be able to build that confidence that you can stop them when they come your way.
Tar Heels will control the defensive zone draw, and they'll flip it up and out of play. An official on the near side will say that it was deflected. Or at least I think it hit the glass on the way out, so the faceoff stays in the Tar Heel end here. Jake DiMantova to take the faceoff against Carolina's Michael Vaglia. Vaglia wins it. Tar Heels looking to break out. Ashford gets a stick to it for Carolina, but can't control. Back in for Wills Kendrick Holmes. Off the glass and out. It'll be a race to the puck at the red line. Denison wins that race and chops it back into the Carolina end. Back up for Ashford as the Tar Heels break out. Ashford has trouble controlling it there, and Denison swats it back in. Kendrick Holmes with it again for the Tar Heels. Goes D to D with Ian Reeves. Reeves up that far wall, and he finds a teammate. That's Mangle looking to the middle. Loose rebound in front, scrambling to it, Svensson. And he'll make another big save to preserve that Denison lead. But that really kind of is the story right now, as this Carolina offense against a brick wall that is the junior John Svensson. Face off to the right side of Svensson. Tar Heels win it. Daniel Jones's shot from the point is blocked, and Denison will move it right back up. In comes Holman, puts it towards the net, deflected off a body in front. Douthit might have gotten a piece of it, and now the Tar Heels turn it back the other way. Here goes Malone. Looks across, finds Friedman, but he can't get it back. Now they find Carlson, and he scores. Cleaning up the loose change in front. Josh Carlson, 2-2 hockey game. Well, that might be a turning point for the Tar Heels. But a lot of credit to number 59, Simon Malone. The freshman out of Toronto, Ontario. Did a nice job getting down that far wall. Stopped up, let the play come to him, and set up that goal. That's the way you got to score on Svensson. Got to get it moving post to post, back and forth. And they're able to get him out of position enough to put one past him. And the Tar Heels go right back to work behind the Denison net. Foster throws one at the net, he scores! 2 quick strikes for UNC, and just like they've got the lead. 15 seconds apart. Well, no shot is a bad shot, as you see right there. Henry, I don't know if he really even looked at the net. He just threw it where he knew the net was. And he surprised Svensson. And now it looks like head coach Jeffrey German is going to call a timeout and try to settle things down for this Denison team. But you wondered if the Tar Heels were going to break through at some point. They've put a lot of pressure on that Big Red defense and their goaltender, and a lot of credit to both of those units. The goaltender Svensson has made a couple of really big saves, without which it could be 5 or 6-2 as opposed to 3-2. But then defensively, we talked about it a little bit earlier. We've seen guys like Janou, Anderson, Morgan, Salerno on that defensive core for the Big Red do a good job of disrupting passes through the low slot and not allowing this Tar Heel team to get many chances in close. And both of those goals coming in tight. So coming out of the timeout, we'll see what Denison is able to do. Can they turn it around? Friedman wins the faceoff for the Tar Heels. And Wills Kendrick Holmes will send it deep. Denison looking to break out with a cross-ice pass that's intercepted. Kramer sends it deep. Tar Heels have to touch up on a delayed offsides, and Denison will be able to get it out into neutral ice. And up goes a hand. We've got a penalty coming up on the Tar Heels. Svensson will head to the bench. But he's not going to have a lot of time to get there. Well, they didn't get the touch on it to the Tar Heels. So 6-on-5 for the moment, and now it'll be touched by Friedman. But an interference penalty coming up on UNC. And this will be the second power play of the night and of the period for this Denison Big Red team. Off the draw, puck deflected into the corner. Denison will collect it there and set up the power play. Over in the far corner, DeFilippo. No control behind the net, wraps it around to the far corner again. Tar Heels doing a good job here keeping this power play unit to the boards right now, and they'll pin it over in that far corner still. 5-man scrum. Denison with the extra man comes away with the puck. Off-angle shot. Gloved by Douthit. Has trouble controlling the rebound. And he sprawls out of his net to cover it. And get the face-off here. But Douthit a little bit shaky at times here in this one, which we didn't see a couple years ago. Again, you don't get to really see any game action for at least about a year and a half. A little bit more at this point, I think. And so you got to get the rust off a little bit. But Douthit was a lot like we've seen Svensson in this game, making some big saves to keep games tight for the Tar Heels back in 2019 and 2020. Early 2020, that is. Tar Heels back on the attack. Vicious forecheck from Henry Foster, doing yeoman's work back there in the Denison end. Can't hold on to the puck, though. Big Red looking to break out. Held up there by Trevor Seitz. He'll drop it back to his defense. Now up the far wall, it's Anderson. Has it stolen away by Jones. He'll bring it in. Wrist shot, glove down by Svensson, who couldn't hold on to the rebound. But the Big Red able to get to it. And Denison will look to bring it back up once again. 10:35 to go in the second period. About 30 seconds left on the power play for this Denison squad. Cleared right back out again. Tar Heels will get a little change with their penalty kill unit. And just 20 seconds left to kill off. Through the neutral zone. Stolen away, slapped back in by Jack Gleason. Kramer going to forecheck. He'll steal it away. Down to 10 seconds to go on the man advantage for Denison. Great job by Kramer to stall for a little bit more time. And now Denison will clear it out. Power play comes to an end. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey as the Big Red go on the forecheck. In the near corner, it's DeFilippo. Up the wall. Jammed right back down, and Gleason will clear it out for the Tar Heels. He finds Friedman, who races down the right wing. Looking to the middle, sends it across, and couldn't connect. Again, some good defense there, some good stick work from the Denison D. Slap shot wide off the stick of Graham Caron that time. And the Tar Heels on an all-out attack right now. Denison able to clear it out. This will trickle down towards Douthit. He'll just lift it up and out. Trying to relieve some pressure as the Tar Heels change. And now they've got a chance to move in transition. Carter Tanner moves it up for Mangle. In that far corner, Mangle has it stolen away, and now Denison will clear it into the neutral zone. Slapped along by Trevor Seitzen deep. And it's Ashford getting to it. Breakout pass, can't connect, and Denison sends it right back in from the red line. And it's a speedy Kevin Greer who gets to it first. He's dispossessed by Carter Tanner. They'll battle for it in the near corner. Loose puck cleared out. And the Tar Heels, I think, are going to try and get a change as long as they can avoid the icing. And that one's slow enough that they will avoid icing. Tim Greer, the first to it for the Big Red, up the far wall, but unable to connect things with Michael Goldman. We're seeing a lot of stretch passes now as that one from Ian Reeves goes all the way down for icing. But it feels like at least these two teams trying to catch the opposing D napping a little bit with some of these longer passes up ice.
Yeah, it seems like what they're trying to do, but at the same time, you know, it worked for Denison in the first part, but since then it hasn't really paid off. You haven't seen a whole lot of great transition chances. A lot more sustained pressure in this period compared to the first. And a lot more goals as well.
So Denison able to hold the zone off the faceoff for the moment. Tar Heels looking to break it out. Pitchforked up the boards by Malone and out, and it'll be Kendrick Holmes getting to it. He'll take a shot. Big, juicy rebound there from Svensson, but no one there for the Tar Heels to put it into the gaping 4x6. They'll continue on the forecheck. A deflected clearance does get out to the red line, but UNC looking to turn it right back. Rink-wide pass disrupted, and now they'll have to retreat. Back behind the net, Malone lifts it off the glass, doesn't have anyone on the near wall, so Denison holds the zone. Shot in through traffic, nice stick save there from Douthit. Another one teed up, hit a stick in front and deflected just wide of the near post. Denison getting a sustained attack. Stolen away by Sabotin. Up the boards. Doesn't get it very far. It's sent right back in by the Big Red. And they'll get a quick change. Nice little pinch there as they hold the zone and the wrist shot. Skitters just wide. Nick Podesta with the shot there. Podesta holds the zone on the far side of the blue line this time. But only for the moment. It was chipped out there by Sabotin. Just enough to draw the offsides. 7:01 to go in period number 2. Denison trying to counter. They had a 2-0 lead, but it was that late goal from Mahan that's made the difference, I think, for the Tar Heels. They've come out here in the second period and been able to get the offense clicking a little bit more. Gleason up the wall as UNC looks to break into the offensive end. Got a delayed offsides they'll have to touch up, and that gives Denison the chance to break out. Lifted up along the benches, knocked down by Daniel Jones. He goes D-to-D with Gleason, and a quick one-touch pass up for Leighton Walsh. Finds a teammate through the middle, and David Mahan, who tries to power into the slot. Can't control, and Denison will send it up and out again. Bouncing puck was deflected, they'll say, so no icing as Jones gets to it for the Tar Heels. Circles behind his own net, has some speed to carry it through the neutral zone now. Virtually uncontested down that left wing. Into the corner, backhand pass out in front, denied, and he'll get it back along the wall. Chips it to the middle. He's got Friedman who corrals. He'll take the shot, can't get it on frame. And Denison collects behind their goal line. Up the wall, looking to chip it out. Nice pinch there from Gleason to hold the zone for a moment. But Denison has the bodies to clear it out. Now Jones with some pressure. Leaves it for Gleason, who slaps it around Friedman. Kicks it for Kramer. Has trouble with the first touch there. But the loose puck picked up by Daniel Jones. Little chip pass for Friedman through the middle. That one shut down by Drew Morgan. And Denison lifts it into the Carolina end. Kramer slaps it off the wall, can't get it out. Centering pass. Jones steps in to take that away. Kramer with the loose puck is able to clear to neutral ice. The Big Red send it back in. Gleason takes it from Douthit, sends it around the wall, hit a couple sticks, so no icing as this one rolls down into the Denison end. They'll set up a breakout from behind the net. It's immediately shut down. Graham Karen pinching in from the near wing. Throws it out in front, loose puck in traffic. Nobody gets a stick to it. Now Kramer for the Tar Heels. Over to the far wall. Beeson swings one on goal, and it's easily handled by John Svensson. It's been, I would say, from a time on attack standpoint, a little bit more even of a period. Some of that, of course, aided by the 2 penalties the Tar Heels have taken here in the second.
Denison just seems to have found their footing in general. We talked about it in the open. You said bus legs are a real thing. And it looked like everybody except for the goaltender for Denison had those in the first period, but they're definitely gone now. We're playing an even hockey game at this point.
And another save from a bad angle for Svensson. He'll swallow it up for another face-off. Down under 5 minutes left in this second period. To this point, 3 unanswered goals for the Tar Heels have turned a 2-0 deficit into a 3-2 lead. They'll win the offensive zone faceoff. Ashford throws it in front. Taken off the wall by Graham Karen. He'll sweep it back in front. Nobody able to deflect it on goal. And Denison just force it out of the zone with pure strength. Karen trying to clear. Can't. Nice back check by Michael Vaglia of the Tar Heels. And now he'll move forward, has a teammate with him in Mackay Ashford. Looking to the middle. Can't connect with Vaglia. Has some help there, though, from Zach Mangle. Now Kendrick Holmes sweeps it back around the wall. UNC trying to set up with possession. Their forecheck has done a great job of not letting Denison out of the zone cleanly. Huge hit on the breakout. That was Carlson laying the wood. He'll do it again. And this time he's going to get whistled for it. Initial signal is going to be 2 minutes for elbowing on Carlson. But he put a bit of a walloping there on Nick Podesta.
Oh, yeah, that's one way to put it.
And the first one was a nice, big, clean hit. And he just went in one too many times there and got a little high with the elbow.
Yep, and it was right in front of the student section, too, for North Carolina. This is basically a home game for the Tar Heels, even though it's technically a neutral site showcase game. You got their full fans out in support, and, you know, it shows.
Daniel Jones possesses for Carolina off the draw. He finds Reeves, who tries to lift it out, but can't. Wrist shot coming in from Janou is blocked. Denison still on the attack. Into the near corner. Walsh gets a stick to it, but so does Janou, and that'll be out of play. And it'll be another offensive zone faceoff for Denison. Worth noting, too, this is just the second season for the Big Red as an ACHA D2 team. They were D3 a few years ago. Their first season in D2 was a bit of a struggle. They took a bit of a beating. But talking to Coach German, he definitely felt like his team made the right move moving up because they did play some D3 teams that season. Didn't have too much trouble with them. And so they're kind of in that intermediate phase, trying to really get to a D2 level. In comes Friedman, and a great job by Svensson coming out of his net to poke that one away from Friedman. Had his head down, trying to keep the puck under control. And didn't see the goaltender coming out. Now Denison on the attack. Wrist shot off the stick of Reeves and wide. It'll be picked up now by Demantova, who took that shot. Leaves it for his defenseman, Lempia. Sends it to the middle. Nobody there. Intercepted by Jones. He's going to bank it off the wall and all the way down to kill some time on this penalty. Halfway through the Denison power play. Nice little stretch pass at the Carolina blue line to Filippo. Tees one up, and it's shouldered away by Douthit. That was a rocket. And maybe a chance brewing shorthanded for the Tar Heels, but it's intercepted and turned right back. Beeson trying to sweep it in from the blue line, whiffs on that. And now Denison moving forward. Nice back check from Kramer, disrupts the play momentarily. Fanning on the shot there to Filippo. And Carolina will clear it out again. Down to 26 seconds left on this Big Red power play. Rink wide pass off the boards all the way down. They're going to wave off icing, though. Carter Tanner first to it for the Tar Heels. Can't control, though. Here's Janou, throws it from a bad angle, misses the net. Collected by Holman at the point. He'll throw one through traffic, got through but couldn't find the net. Another shot, this time Douthit gets a pad to it and kicks it away. Friedman collects the rebound and clears it out, and the Tar Heels survive the penalty kill. Denison looking to go back to work. Nice little pickpocket from Friedman, and he'll take it down the right wing. Winds up, and his slap shot hits a stick and deflects out of play. This faceoff will stay in the Denison zone. Down to the final minute, 17 in the second period. And I think we're going to be in for a pretty entertaining third.
Oh, I don't doubt it. These two teams have looked very evenly matched since the onset of the second period, and with only a 1-goal differential between them, it should be a very exciting finish, let alone third period.
Carlson to take the draw for the Tar Heels up against Justin Rink, and he wins it for the Big Red, but they can't clear. UNC will go to work on the offensive side. A little bit of a miscue and a breakaway coming up for Denison. In on Douthit, and a beautiful poke check by the Tar Heel netminder on Kevin Greer, who had a gift from the red line. Tar Heels trying to turn it back the other way. Sabotin's shot is deflected high and wide, and it'll be another offensive zone faceoff, but big play there from Will Douthit, who seems to be getting comfortable.
And he's seen much more shots in this period, 13 compared to only 4 in the first. And you talked about it at the beginning of this set of 20 minutes. You just got to see more shots to build that confidence. And he hasn't allowed a goal yet in the second. I have to think that part of it is because he's seen much more shots.
Yeah, and he's seeing the puck well through traffic also. Tar Heels, couple quick shots off the faceoff. Svensson up to the task, and he'll jump on the rebound for another faceoff. That's one thing he's done really well, rebound control from Svensson. Other than that second goal that he gave up to Carlson, his rebound control has been on point all night.
Yeah, you could say that again.
This time it'll be Leighton Walsh to take the faceoff for the Tar Heels up against Jake DiMantova. Big Red able to get it out of their end. Daniel Jones turns it back. Lifts a pass intended for Foster. They can't connect. And Denison turns it right back. Chip and chase for Duncan Humphreys doesn't work. Jones clears it back into neutral ice for the Tar Heels. And Denison sends it right back behind Douthit. He'll slow it down a bit as Foster loses his stick on a hit. Still able to kick it out of the zone, and the Tar Heels will move forward. David Mahan, across, back in front, and they can't find the last dot. Leighton Walsh was loose in front. So a dodged bullet there for Denison as the period winds down, and it was a 2-goal period for the Tar Heels. First, it was Carlson, then it was Foster, 15 seconds apart, and that's the difference right now, a 3-2 lead for the Tar Heels as we get set for the final 20 minutes coming up here at the Elite Junior Profiles Showcase here in Hillsborough, North Carolina. 40 minutes down, 20 to go here at the Orange County Sportsplex. Chris Lehman and Graham Tuck with you here at the Elite Junior Profiles Showcase in Hillsborough, North Carolina. This is game number 2 of 3 here today. We already saw East Texas Baptist take down the Elon Phoenix. Of course, here we've got the Tar Heels of North Carolina and the Denison Big Red. And then following this game, it'll be High Point taking on Lewis. But the 3 local teams will take on the 3 teams who have traveled here this weekend, as each team will play a trio of games here on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Third period time, 3-2. Tar Heels with the lead. They've scored 3 straight after falling behind 2-0 in period number 1. And they have really carried a lot of the play. It was a little bit more even in that second period, but their forecheck has been killer for the Denison breakout. And they'll get in quickly. It's a foot race to the puck, and winning that race is Oliver Janou. Looked to clear, couldn't. One-time shot in on Svensson, and he handles it easily with the glove.
And Svensson has looked really, really good throughout the duration of this game, with the exception of about a 6-minute span of game time from the end of the first period to the start of the second. And other than that, he has looked phenomenal. Definitely the best goaltender that we've seen so far today among the 4 teams.
And he's keeping his team in it right now. See if they can turn things around on the offensive end. It really has been a couple of quick strike opportunities, and they have been opportunistic, have the Big Red. UNC will reset behind their own net. It's Graham Caron. Feeling a little bit of pressure from the Denison forecheck. Sent right back behind the Carolina cage. Big Red throw it out in front. It was a nice look from Joey Holman, but couldn't connect. And here come the Tar Heels. Wrist shot off a stick and into the glass. Beeson took that one and couldn't get it on frame. UNC holds the zone. Beeson to it on the half wall. Leaves it there for Carter Tanner, who sends it behind the Denison net. Lifted up and around and out by Oliver Janou. And the Tar Heels shovel it right back in again. Janou one more time. Bank pass up the near side. How do we shut down around the red line? But Nick Podesta able to get back to it. Wrapped around the wall. Tar Heels going to move out quickly. Some speed for Walsh down the right wing. Looking to the middle. It's not there. But Tar Heels still in control. Coming out in front. And a shot stopped by Svensson. Mahan with that chance. The Tar Heels don't seem quite as aggressive on the forecheck here to start this third period. And we're seeing Denison breaking out of the zone a little bit easier.
I think that's the difference between playing with a lead and playing from behind. You had that sense of urgency in the first period when you went down 1-0, and especially when you went down 2-0. But now that you have all the momentum in the world, really, 3 unanswered goals, even though it doesn't seem like the momentum has shifted towards Carolina, Denison definitely is not playing with the same defensive urgency that they were in the first, and Carolina, on the other hand, is not playing with the same offensive urgency that they were in the first. So it seems like things have calmed down a little bit. You know, you get excited when you get your first game of the season. You're back on the ice for Carolina's instance. 2 years since you've played, and so you got them jitters, and you're getting into the third period now. You calm down a little bit. You're just trying to play a good hockey game at this point, and that's what Carolina and Denison have both started to focus on to some extent.
We just saw an icing call against the Tar Heels, so an offensive zone face-off with some tired bodies on the Tar Heel side for Denison.
And that's another thing. Like you said, tired. You haven't played a full 60-minute hockey game in 2 years. So the fatigue could set in a little bit more than you normally would.
Got to get those game legs back. In the neutral zone, it's Daniel Jones for UNC. Finds Ashford along the wall. His pass intercepted, headed to the middle. And now to be lugged up by Justin Rink. He'll gain the blue line and sweep it behind the net. Awkward bounce off the boards. Douthit has to swat it away with the stick. And the Tar Heels clear the zone. Ashford will put some pressure on Drew Morgan here. Loses his edge. Here comes Jones. Looks across, and he was behind with the pass, looking for Zach Mengel. But those are the kind of chances, I think, as the season wears on, head coach Jeff Volkman is going to hope to see his team capitalize on a little bit more. They're going to try and capitalize on the Denison change here, but it's stripped away by Janot. He's going to turn it back himself. Down the right side, cuts in front. We got a hand up. Looks like another Tar Heel penalty. And this will be a hooking call. Denison 0 for 2 in the second period on the man advantage. This will be their third opportunity on the power play here tonight.
And we saw Elon go what seemed like 0 for forever on the power play in the first game. We said it in the first period, special teams are the key to get an advantage that you otherwise wouldn't. Denison has had those opportunities and just haven't taken advantage of them.
Face off on the glove side of Douthit. One back into the corner by the Tar Heels. Unable to clear, though, there was Tanner. Denison cycles behind. Wrist shot blockered away easily by Douthit. Swatted around the boards, but Denison holds the zone. Back behind, DeFilippo. Has it stripped away. Carolina, though, fans on the clear. That was Karen trying to get it out and couldn't. Backhand try from DeFilippo is deflected up and over the net. Four-man scrum. And the corner there by the camera. Get a look at it up close. Couple of bodies spilled to the ice. They're still trying to pick it up off the boards. Squirts out in front. There's Douthit to jump on it. Wise decision there, I think, by the Carolina netminder. He'll get a draw with 1:18 to go on the man advantage for Denison.
You definitely can't fall to 0-3 on the power play if you're Denison, especially in a one-goal contest like this. But give credit to the penalty kill for Carolina. They've been energetic. They've been clogging passing lanes. And Douthit has been strong stopping pucks that have gotten to him and ones that he's just reached out and grabbed as well.
Nice block there from Henry Foster. That's going to turn into a shorthanded chance for Walsh. He's in alone, shoots and scores. He roofs it on Svensson, and it's a 2-goal lead for the Tar Heels. That all started back in the defensive end. Henry Foster blocked the shot, collected the loose puck, and had great vision to find Walsh. And it's a shorthanded strike for UNC.
And you know exactly what you're talking about when you say great vision. That was the big key to that play. The saucer pass is exactly the right move that needed to be done. If you throw that pass along the ice, it's not getting through. And a great collection there on the other end to turn that into a breakaway.
So 4 straight goals now for Carolina after falling behind 2-0 with a little less than 5 minutes to go in the first. And that one coming a man down. Still 50 seconds left on the power play, so if you're Denison here, you still have the potential to break even on this power play and get it back to a 1-goal game, although they're starting to run out of time on the power play. 35 seconds left. And the puck disrupted through neutral ice, got sandwiched between a couple of sticks and popped up into the ceiling, so we'll have a face-off. Looks like it's center ice here.
And Carolina approaching 40 shots on goal. Denison still sitting at 19. In the first game, we saw a double on the shot counter as well. East Texas Baptist nearly reaching 50. Carolina might hit that mark themselves.
Off the draw, it's Denison in control. At the defense, Canelos moving with it. Sends it behind the Carolina net. Denison looking to set up here in the waning seconds of the power play. Canelos, shot block, gets the loose change. Still loose in front, and Douthit going to find it and jump on it.
What a reach.
A nice cover there, I think, from Douthit. You had some chaos in front of your net. And he'll melt it down. 13 seconds to go on the Denison man advantage.
And that's the hockey IQ there from Douthit to know exactly what you got to do.
One-time shot off the face-off. Nice block on the way through. Carolina going to clear. And that should finish off the penalty kill. And I believe that was Henry Foster again with the blocked shot. He's going to collect it at the Denison blue line and lift it in. Power play over for Denison. They're now 0 for 3 on the man advantage. So give the Tar Heels a chance to attack. Quick wrister in on Svensson, and he'll hold on. But that is a big penalty kill for the Tar Heels. You look at it at the start, you're only up 1, and you got to kill the penalty, and now you've killed it, and you got a shorthanded goal. That's a huge momentum boost here in the first 5 minutes and change in this third period. They're going to attack right off the draw. Doesn't work out, and here comes the Big Red. Trevor Seitz dispossessed. It'll be shoveled back in by the Tar Heels. This one was knocked from behind the red line, though, so it'll be icing.
And when I said that special teams was a way to get an advantage, I didn't really mean on a shorthanded goal. But, hey, the Tar Heels will take it any way they can get it at this point.
13:54 to go. Face off to the blocker side of Douthit this time. A little tie-up along the draw. It'll be collected by Denison. Bad angle shot from Michael Goldman is handled easily by Douthit, and that'll bring up another defensive zone face-off for the Tar Heels. That's one thing, you talked about it a little bit earlier. We noted the forecheck didn't seem to be quite as strong from Carolina, and you don't want to take your foot off the gas too much. This is a Denison team with some skills, with some speed, and we've already seen when you make mistakes, they can make you pay for it. Smoten behind his own cage to Wills Kendrick-Holmes, who will clear it off the glass and out. Denison retreats. First one to it is Tim Greer. He'll send it all the way down. It trickles in on Douthit, and he gets a little snow shower there. And we'll get another face-off in the Carolina end. But right now, if you're the Tar Heels, I think you got to find a way to get this puck out of your end a little bit more. I think they're playing a little bit too much in their defensive end right now. And eventually, something's going to get by Douthit, whether it's off of a awkward bounce or a deflection.
Oh, yeah, you've got to think that's the case. But for Carolina, you've just got to make sure that you dominate the neutral zone. That's something they did in the first part of the game, and they want to start doing it again.
They've got their top line out right now, Friedman, Kramer, and Beeson. And they're looking to go on the attack. Friedman down the near left wing, chips it into the slot. Can't find Kramer. And Denison clears it into neutral ice. Kendrick Holmes. D to D with Ian Reeves. Looking for Friedman up the wall. They can't connect, and Denison swats it back into the neutral zone. Battle for it along the red line. Bouncing puck gets to Friedman. He's got Kramer coming with him. Chips it across. A great defensive play by number 3, Martin Limpia, who clears it out as well. But it's been the strong suit, the backside of this Denison team. The defense in net has been incredibly strong for this team. Got to find a way to get something going on the offensive end, though, if you're the Big Red. And here comes Friedman again. Looking to the middle, he's got Jones jumping up in the rush. Backhand pass to Friedman, and he just missed. That would have been a beauty. It was a great look from Jones to find Friedman, and then Friedman maybe a little bit too cute trying to go behind his back with that one, but he didn't have a whole lot of options. And now we'll have a face-off on top of the Denison blue line as the Tar Heels were caught off sides.
Well, when you're up by 2 in the third, you can afford to do something like that.
Off the draw, it's tied up. Denison comes away with it. D to D pass from Salerno to Janou, who clears it back to the Carolina D. Gleason to Jones, back across to the near side, and he'll find Foster. Foster dances around a defender, looks to the middle, can't connect with his teammate there. He had Mahan crashing. But the Tar Heels still on the attack. Lifted up the glass, Denison trying to break out. And it'll be carried out by Justin Rink. Rink into the offensive end for the Big Red. Loses it in high slot. Loose puck picked up by Henry Foster. Chips it ahead looking for Walsh. A little bit too far. That was the connection that led to that shorthanded goal. But a little bit too strong, and Walsh looked gassed on that one as well, and he's got to go back for this faceoff now. And you get a look at him there. Stick up on the head.
He's gassed. And
Yeah, he's at the end of a shift here. You got to be careful if you're Carolina. One goal makes this very, very interesting.
No, without a doubt. You never want to give up the proximate goal, the one that gets you within one.
Loose puck trickling into the Denison end, and Svensson comes out to clear it away. And clears it too far. This will be icing. And an offensive zone faceoff now for UNC. And we haven't seen much of that here this third period.
You
really kind of seems like they flipped the roles from the first period.
Right, exactly. But if you're Svensson, you'll gladly take that icing because it is much better to have a offensive zone draw than to give up that breakaway chance.
And the Tar Heels win the offensive zone draw. One-timer from the point is gloved by Svensson. Good idea.
My words, yeah.
Good idea there from Graham Karen just to get that one on net. Both of these goaltenders have seen the puck pretty well, even through traffic. I think that has been the strong suit for both sides. We've seen some really good goaltending in this hockey game. Tar Heels win another offensive zone draw. Karen holds the blue line, then gets dumped into the Denison bench. And play will continue. Tar Heels effectively playing a man down here for a moment as Karen finally gets back on the ice. Big hit from the center, Noah DeFilippo. Tar Heels still on the attack, though. Joey Holman will clear it out for the Big Red. Retreating for it is Carter Tanner. Looking to the middle, his pass intercepted. And they'll fight for it around the Tar Heel blue line. UNC able to clear it out and get a change. And a stretch pass chipped in by Demantova. He'll go get it in that far corner. Thrown around behind. First one to it for UNC is Simon Malone. Looks back across to Tanner. He'll backhand it behind the net. And once again, it's Malone. Loses control. Loose puck out in front. And it looks like Douthat's going to jump on it again. But there, again, that's seeing the puck well. And a whole lot of skates there for Douthat.
Yeah, and for Denison, it feels like that's the first time in a while that they've had the puck in their offensive zone for a bit. And it's the first battle in the neutral zone that they've won in a while, too. They was kind of in limbo there for a moment. But Denison able to come out with that. That's a big thing to focus on going forward.
Big hit over in that far corner as Denison continues to put the pressure on the Tar Heels here. Controlled by Demantova. Drops it back to the point. Little slap pass from Lempia back behind. Denison with some sustained possession in the offensive end here, but it's going to turn into a quick chance for the Tar Heels. Here comes Sabotin. Looks to the middle, has an open man, and they score. Wide open in the slot was Simon Malone, and it's 5-2 Tar Heels.
And that one feels like the dagger.
Yeah, if you're Denison, you're carrying the play, you're getting a lot of pressure on the offensive end, and then just a bad pinch from the defense, and a misplayed puck leads to that 2-on-1. And if you're Svensson, you got the puck coming across, Malone all alone in the slot. That's a tough save to make.
Yeah, it really is, and you can only expect so much out of your goaltender. Svensson's done a great job tonight. He's made 39 saves. That's a good night for most goaltenders. He's just faced a lot of shots.
And the Tar Heels smelling blood right now. Turnaround shot from Beeson below the near circle is stopped by Svensson and melted down. A little bit of extracurriculars there in front of the net after the play. .12 to go in this third period.
We've seen a lot of showmanship here today, but I believe that Kramer blowing a kiss to Kevin Greer is probably my favorite act of the day.
He's out there with that top line as Kramer. Friedman will take the face-off here for the Tar Heels. Up against Joey Holman. Holman wins it to the middle, and it'll be cleared up and out by Janot. He finds DeFilippo, who dumps it in. And that one's all the way in on Douthat, who will cover it up to avoid any trouble in that far corner. But I think that's something Douthat has done really well. We're seeing him cover the puck a lot here this period, and I think the big thing, he's trying to break up any kind of flow that Denison can get on the offensive end and force them to fight for possession again off these faceoffs.
Well, and that takes faith in both your centermen to win the faceoff and your forwards to get in the shot lanes and block shots to keep chances from being sustained.
Tar Heels in control, looking to break out. Having some trouble against this Denison forecheck. It was a nice pestering effort there from Joey Holman, who takes a hit to get it deep. Here the Tar Heel faithful liking that hit. We've seen a couple of nice hits from guys in white jerseys tonight. Carlson had a big one back in period number 2. Followed it up, unfortunately, with an elbowing penalty, but a nice big clean open ice hit back in the second. There's another nice hit behind the net from Walsh. Knocks the puck loose. Denison has to regroup behind the cage. Janou up the wall along the benches. It trickles all the way down behind Douthit, and looks like we're going to have a penalty behind the play.
Well, there was a late hit, but I didn't see the arm go up automatically.
So we'll take a look over, and it looks like it's going to be 2 minutes for roughing. And Janou, who is the guilty party, not happy about it. I think he was looking for a call against the Tar Heels that he won't get, and it'll be a power play for UNC.
And this is definitely an area where you can put this game away for good. 3 goals with 8 minutes left. You feel good already, but you just never know. And so having that extra insurance goal is always something that you want to look for.
And it's not a guarantee as the faceoff trickles right in on Svensson to freeze up. But as I was saying, it's not a guarantee. Obviously, we saw a shorthanded goal from the Tar Heels earlier. But you do feel pretty comfortable that you can melt off 2 of these 8 minutes on this power play. Or, you trade some of that time for another goal. We'll see what they do. Walsh, or Beeson, pardon me. Backhanded back to Jones. Throws it on goal. Deflected by Beeson. The rebound knocked wide. Couple of good chances there for Beeson. Now Kramer to the top of the umbrella. Gets it back. Top of the near circle. First shot sticked away by Svensson. And the rebound cleared away by the Denison penalty kill. First one to it for the Tar Heels is Jack Gleason. He'll set up the breakout behind the Carolina net. Finds Friedman, who picks up speed down the left wing. Cuts to the middle, takes a hit as he puts the shot on goal. And I don't think Jones liked the hit put on Friedman coming through the middle of the ice. And it's a little pushing and shoving after the frozen puck from Svensson. .113 left on the man advantage for Carolina here. 7:22 left on the game clock. And they got an offensive zone faceoff here. Walsh will center this power play unit. He's got Misha Sabotin on the near wing. Over on the far side, David Mahan. Henry Foster on the defense. Centering pass, high slot, one-timer for Mahan, sticked wide. And now Simon Malone, quarterbacking. Behind the net for Walsh. Throws it out in front, stepping into it, Sabotin, but his shot is blocked. And it's deflected up and out of play. Just a little over halfway through the power play here for UNC. Still looking for their first goal on the man advantage here tonight. And this time it'll be Sabotin to take the face-off. Still out there with Walsh and Mahan, as well as Foster and Malone on the back line. Malone. Down for Mahan, back out to Foster. He'll rip a wrister high and wide, and now a stick deflected away from the goalkeeper, Svensson. And a chance here for the Tar Heels with a stickless goaltender. Deflected off the post, and Walsh is there to clean it up. Well, I don't think a stick would have made a difference there for Svensson. Initially, the shot deflected off the stick of Foster. It hit the post, and Walsh in the right place at the right time 6 unanswered now for the Tar Heels. They strike for the first time on the power play. And it's 6-2. As the second goal of the period for Walsh. And I don't know officially if they gave Henry an assist on that, as it did hit a Denison stick. But unofficially, I'll say it was Walsh from Henry. Second time those two have teamed up for a goal here tonight. And a pretty comfortable 4-goal lead. Nice little blocker save there from Douthit. Tar Heels looking to break out. Chipped forward. And moving along with it is Mangle, who had a nice chance in alone and couldn't get it to go. Tar Heels will set up in the offensive zone. Shot fanned on by Graham Karen, and Denison will clear it into neutral ice. And now deflected up into the netting, so it'll be a face-off, and well, actually I think it's cleared out of play by the Tar Heels. They're almost looks like holding the Tar Heels off from a change here. 6:01 to play, 4-goal advantage for UNC. Here in their first of 3 games at the Elite Junior Profile Showcase. Denison controls the offensive draw. Wrist shot from Janou, found and gloved by Douthit. And again, he really looks like he's seeing the puck well. So they'll do it all again. And that right side circle next to Douthit. Puck squirts loose to the point. One-timer tipped, and it ended up just wide off the side of the net.
That's a very solid chance there.
And Denison continuing to put a lot of pressure on in their offensive end, but haven't been able to score since 4:38 left in the first period. Sweeping it around from behind. Zach Dooley couldn't get it to go. Nice job by Douthit to shore up the post, and now Sabotin brings it in for the Tar Heels. Crosses to the far side. Sweeps it back in. Wills Kendrick Holmes takes a hit and holds the puck behind the cage. Backhand pass out to the blue line. One-timer wide. Deflects back out in front, and Denison collects it. Janou can't clear. Centering pass. Beautiful pad save by Svensson, and he follows it up with a poke check to boot. Here comes Denison. It's Justin Rink in with the shot. Steered away by Douthit. They'll fight for it. In that far right corner, we've got another penalty coming up now on the Tar Heels. A slashing call. And I think the logic here was the Tar Heel player, which looks to be Simon Malone. Lost his footing, kind of lost control of his stick as he came down and accidentally hacked the Denison player. So another 2-minute man advantage here for the Big Red. This will be their 4th power play opportunity. And if they want to try and make this interesting, they'll have to find the back of the net here.
Yeah, they have to.
And control the face-off. Across to Janou on the left point. Rink wide again. And the Tar Heels steal it away and clear. 20 seconds gone on the power play as it's collected back on the Denison goal line by Logan Anderson. Up the middle for Trevor Seitz. He'll circle around. Has a couple of teammates on the near side. But they can't control. UNC able to pitchfork it out again and kill some more time. Now DeFilippo. He's going to pick up speed. Cuts around Walsh, knifing through the middle, takes the shot, can't get it on goal. And now Friedman will use his speed, and he chips it up and out of play. So this will be a neutral zone face-off. And they'll put it right at center ice. Walsh to take the draw. Well, he'll switch out with Friedman. to go up against Jake DiMantova. DiMantova wins the draw but can't maintain possession. Now Friedman for UNC. Just flips a little looper into the Denison end. They'll reset behind their net. Salerno up the near wall. He finds Goldman. Back across, stolen away. Here comes Friedman again. Doing great work on this penalty kill is Friedman. He'll pin it in that corner and kill a little bit more time. Now moved out by DiMantova of Denison. Up the wall as a teammate there, Nick Podesta, but he can't corral the bouncing puck. Carolina clears once more. Janou gliding forward. Goes D to D with Salerno. He'll carry it in. Throws one off the stick of Douthit, who deflects it back into that far corner. First one to it, Logan Anderson sweeps it behind the net. Tar Heels the first to it there, though. Penalty is over. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey, and this is going to be icing. Not sure the Tar Heels were aware that the power play had just come to an end. And now they'll have to keep a few bodies out there that have been killing a lot of penalty time on that last power play.
But for Carolina, you did the important thing. You got through that stretch, and you only have 2 minutes and 38 seconds to finish off this game. You're up by 4. You got a comfortable lead. You just got to close it out.
And they win the defensive zone draw, having trouble clearing, though. Far side wall clogged up by Denison. Shot through traffic. Douthit's in the right place to hold on to it. And we'll get another face-off to his right. That might be the thing that's most impressed me throughout the course of this game, particularly in the second and here in the third from Will Douthit, is his ability to see the puck through a lot of bodies. And then on top of that, not just stop it, but hold on to the rebound as well. Shot from Denison off the draw doesn't get through. They'll fight for it along that far wall away from our camera. Tar Heels clear it down. Icing waved off, so Svensson comes out to clear it. We held in along the near wall by the Tar Heels. Ashford with it. Sweeps it around and back to the point. Kendrick Holmes lifts it back behind. He'll get it back from his teammate Zach Mengel. Mengel dispossessed behind the Denison net. Justin Rink with the breakout pass. It'll be swatted through the neutral zone and all the way down. Kevin Greer will negate the icing. Good little forecheck there from Denison. But they're in the middle of a change, so they can't sustain it. Carolina clears. Going to avoid icing, and they'll get a wholesale change. Under 90 ticks left here in the third period. Martin Lampia looking to clear. His pass stolen away, though, and here comes Sabotin. He'll drop it off. Gleason's shot. I'm not sure Svensson ever saw it. It missed wide, but the Tar Heels still in control. Sabotin again. Drop back to the point for Gleason. He'll lift it into the near corner. They'll battle for it again. Sabotin comes away with it. Works his way to the top of the circle, into the high slot. Wrist shot goes high and wide. And Denison the first to it. It's Martin Lampia. Lifted up into neutral ice. Losing it in his skates was Noah DeFilippo. And now the Tar Heels turn it back. Sabotin again. Backhand in front, and a great glove save from Svensson.
That might have been his best of the night so far.
Point blank, quick change of direction as the pass from Sabotin found Malone, who goes forehand to backhand.
Good job to track that into the glove. And UNC has officially surpassed 50 shots on goal, more than doubling up Denison in that respect.
40 seconds to go. Offensive zone draw for the Tar Heels. That'll be won by Denison, though. Nick Salerno trying to power his way out. Can't get past the blue line. Here's Beeson with a shot, and that one's handled and held on to by John Svensson.
And you really feel for a guy like Svensson. And earlier, a guy like the guy between the pipes for Elon. He just facing as many shots as he could, stopping as many of them as he possibly can. It's just too little.
Down to 20 seconds to go. Friedman in the near corner for the Tar Heels, looking to sweep it out in front. That pass denied, though, by Salerno. And he will move it up into neutral ice. Goes cross ice for Michael Goldman, who lifts it in on Douthit. He's going to have to hold on to it. 7 seconds to go. Pretty much academic at this point for the Tar Heels.
Quite literally no chance left for Denison, and they fought hard. And they'll get a chance again tomorrow against High Point, who we'll see play next.
Quick shot off the draw. Douthit up to the task as Nick Podesta put a quick shot on goal. Ran 3 seconds off the clock, still about 4 left. And one more draw, won by the Tar Heels. Beeson pitchforks it up and out, and that will finish off this second game of the day as the Tar Heels take a 6-2 win over the Denison Big Red. And Graham, it was a good start for Denison. Quick strike in the first 10 minutes, scored another one not long after that and had a 2-goal advantage, but the Tar Heels, I guess you could say they just trusted the process and were able to find the back of the net enough to win this hockey game.
Yeah, and we talked about it at the first intermission, start of the second period. Douthit was such a big key for Carolina. And once he found his footing in the second period, once he started facing some more shots, he only made 2 saves on 4 shots in the first period. That's not the save percentage you want. But then when you got further into the game, he saw more shots, and he was able to be more confident in the crease, and it showed. He didn't allow another goal the rest of the game. He's going to be a big key in Carolina's season if they're going to do anything after the regular season comes to a close.
As you mentioned, both these teams will regroup and play again tomorrow. Denison taking on High Point. The UNC Tar Heels will have the Tigers of East Texas Baptist University coming up tomorrow as well. And we're not done yet tonight. The Elite Junior Profile Showcase continues with High Point taking on Lewis. That'll be coming up here shortly, so stick with us. The final here between North Carolina and Denison is the Tar Heels 6, the Big Red 2.